Hello, this is Devinator, no L Castronomical, and you're tuning into Devinator's radio show. Every day during the week leading up to Halloween, I'm going to be reading you 3 scary stories. Tune in into what we're doing on Halloween night because we're going to be interviewing 3 people to tell us their scary stories. Their first story is called The Boat. There are 6 people on a fishing boat in Asia. It was, funny enough, a dark and stormy night. And when you're out in the ocean, the darkness mixed in with a storm is a dangerous combination. One of these fishermen knew it was his first day on the job. During the storm, when he just got done tying everything down, he heard a splash from the side of the boat. When he turned around, no one was there. There was no one there when originally one of his co-workers were standing right behind him, feeling the worst. He tried telling everyone else, but he couldn't find anyone else. Finally, he managed to spot one of his co-workers, but as he was walking up to him, he saw him jump off the boat. He couldn't believe it. He ran to the edge and saw nothing. He looked straight ahead, out into the sea, and just nothing. It was a void. If he didn't know better, he would think he's in space. He looks around, calling people's names. He even goes to the captain's office, the bedrooms, bathrooms even. No one. He tries to contact people from other ships, but the radio isn't working. And just then, the power cuts out. It was completely dark. He didn't even have a flashlight. He can barely make his way around. When he was out in the rain, there was absolutely nothing. No light at all. The only light was from the moon, but that was just the moon. Only the moon was illuminated. Everything else was just pitch black. Even then, the moon was still covered by clouds. But whatever little light the moon was giving off was covered by something. The new guy didn't know what it was until it crashed down on him. It was a gigantic wave. It was so big it tipped the boat upside down. He heard a crash and another crash, and suddenly the ship is also sinking. The ship was in the water, and the man was under the ship. He didn't know what to do, but he couldn't do anything. When he was trying to resurface, he felt something pull him down. It just kept pulling and pulling, and he kept going down and down. It was already dark before. It just got darker. Our next story is called Victim. There was a man humming along, as happy as he can be, driving into the forest. He gets into a patch of the forest and parks. He gets off and takes out 2 large garbage bags, black garbage bags. He also takes a shovel with him. He's walking through the trees, into the grass, past some rocks, in the dark. But as he's walking, he's talking. You were a pretty difficult one to kill. But I like that. Yours was messy. He kept talking smugly, confidently. Finally, he stops, but not to bury anything, to take a pee. He goes out in front of a tree and pisses. But as he's pissing, he hears something, a rummaging, footsteps, the bags moving. He turns around, paranoid, but there's nothing there. Just one of the bags tipped over. He laughs it off, happy that no one saw anything. He takes the bags and shovel and keeps walking forward. He hears more noises, more rummaging. He hears a branch break, the crunch of dried leaves. He just thinks it's some animals. It's a forest. He eventually stops and starts digging. He digs a 6-foot deep hole. He gets out of the hole and grabs the garbage bags. He looks inside the garbage bags and finds grass, dirt, leaves, sticks, and rocks. When he should be looking at a corpse, a cut up corpse, he hears noises from behind him. He looks, and from a few feet away, peeking from behind a tree, he sees the girl he killed. Beaten, sliced, bloody, cut open, broken jaw, gaping eyes, looking at him. Not too long after, the police found his truck, and then after that, they found the garbage bags. But instead of dirt and leaves, it was the killer's corpse. Cut up corpse. Our last story here today is called Witch and Bugs. There was this young and beautiful witch. But don't be fooled, because she was extremely evil. This one guy caught her eye, though. She thought he was quite handsome. She tried using her good looks, but the man, he knew she was evil. So he declined her. Now that was a freaking problem. Everybody knew of her reputation. Everybody knew she was a witch and that she was evil. So in order to combat this, she chose to put a spell on herself that everybody would see her the same on the outside as in the inside. So everybody would think she's beautiful. She gets a pot and mixes a bunch of potions, concoctions, and serums. She boils it and mixes in some spices as well. But when she's not looking, some bugs got in it. She mixes it all and then waits for it to cool off. Once it finally cools off, she pours a cup and she drinks the entire cup, no matter how nasty it may be. The next day, she thinks the spell has worked. So when she tries to give it the guy again, she's surprised when he declines her again. She returns home, not knowing what went wrong. She decides she might just put a spell on the boyfriend and the girlfriend. A love spell for the boyfriend and a curse for the girlfriend. But she isn't able to go through with it because she keeps getting itchy and itchy. She puts some ointment on her skin, but that doesn't seem to stop anything. She decides to just sleep it off and maybe it'll be better tomorrow. Tomorrow comes and, if anything, it only got worse. Her stomach and muscles just feel terrible. Not only that, but she feels her skin crawling. And she sees her skin crawling. She feels terrible and tries everything she can do to make her feel better. But she doesn't really know what the problem is. So she can't do much. Maybe she got sick and this is only temporary. She hopes. But the next day, when she's taking a shower, she sees a little bug leg poking out from the skin. She pulls on it and it tears open her skin. Underneath, bugs start flying out. Maggots, flies, mosquitoes, crickets, spiders, beetles, arachnids, and insects alike. She tries swatting them away, but they just keep coming out and out, where eventually her whole body is covered in tears with bugs coming out. The water is washing them away, but it seems like there's an endless supply of them. But the more bugs that's leaving the body, the shorter and skinnier she gets. And until eventually the tub is filled with bugs and she's just a pile of skin. I hope you liked that. Tune in next time to Devinator's radio show. I'm your host, Devinator Noel Castronomical.